I'm going to turn the show over to you if you would transition us over to our program today.
Yeah, thanks, President Chuck. And if you could go ahead, you can make Erin Clark the presenter. So I think she's got some slides and some things to share with us. So whoever's actually running the Zoom, if you could make Erin the presenter, that'd be awesome. So yeah, very pleased to have Erin with us today to talk about United Way of Davidson County. So Erin joined United Way of Davidson County as president in May 2020. Previously, she served as executive director of the Art Therapy Credentials Board based in Greensboro. Erin's background is in social work and nonprofit management. She received her MSW degree in 2005 from the University of Connecticut School of Social Work. While in Connecticut, she worked for a trade association for nonprofit providers of behavioral health services, a statewide charitable organization, and the U.S. Departments of Energy's low-income weatherization program. She returned to her home state of North Carolina in 2011 and worked for Girl Scouts Peaks to Piedmont and the Greensboro History Museum before joining the ATCB. Erin is passionate about community-based nonprofit organizations whose missions focus on empowering people to unite and solve complex problems that affect us all, and on the promotion of social and economic justice. She's a new resident of Davidson County and is eager to get to know folks in the communities in which she lives and serves. She is also new to Rotary and looks forward to her involvement with the organization. So without further ado, much better picture than I've got for sure in her presentation. I'm sure it's going to be awesome. But please join me in welcoming Erin Clark with United Way of Davidson County.
Thank you so much, David, and to President Chuck and to all of you for having me today. I'm going to switch over here to my PowerPoint, and let's just hope it works. Does everybody see a lovely young woman on your screen who's dressed as a superhero? Nods, okay. I'll keep going. Thank you so much. I'm really happy to be here and to have been participating in the meetings for the last couple of months. As David said, I'm president of United Way of Davidson County, and I want to introduce you to this lovely young woman on the screen. Her name is Savannah. She has been in the Communities and Schools program for 3 years. She's had a difficult home life and has struggled with low self-esteem. She started participating in a program called Cooking Matters through Communities and Schools. And this program teaches students how to prepare healthy meals and encourages participants to make healthy decisions. The program has allowed Savannah to find her niche. She's gained an enormous amount of confidence by participating in this program. She's also taken home healthy tips and helped out with family meals and meal planning. Also through the Communities and Schools program, she's become more outgoing. She's gotten involved with volunteering in nursing homes, helping with craft projects and things like that. And of course, that was prior to the COVID-19 situation. She's also joined the dance team, which is something that she would have never had the confidence to do without her involvement in the development that she's had personally through the Communities and Schools program. And her mother had given the program director a note that said, "I cannot tell you how much it means to have someone love my daughter and care about her development as much as I do." So the reason I share this story with you today, let me see if I'm not clicking through. Hold on just a moment. I don't know why it's not. Bear with me just a moment. There we go. Yay. The reason I'm sharing or shared Savannah's story with you is just one example of how a gift to United Way can make a huge difference and really change a life. And we work to change lives throughout Davidson County. So our goal is to make our community stronger, and that takes all of us. And we cannot meet this need without you and our many generous donors throughout the county. So a little bit about our mission. We know that in order to have a stronger community, it takes a broad approach. We rely on evidence-based practices and really investing in programs that show results. That is central to United Way's role. We want to make sure that the most significant issues are being addressed by programs that are making a real impact. So we know we've identified sort of the three primary areas that we focus on. And in 2015, United Way conducted a county-wide needs assessment, and we'll probably update that needs assessment after we get the results of the 2020 census. I would imagine that would be a good time for that. But the three focus areas really are health, education, and financial stability, because we recognize that these are the building blocks for a good quality life. We win when people have access to quality education that leads to stable employment, enough income to support a family, and good health. Our goal is to be a leader in convening people and organizations to create lasting changes in our community. So you can see that our mission is very clear. We know that no one organization can solve these issues alone, which is why we fund local organizations impacting all of our focus areas. And I'm going to talk a little bit more in a minute about those organizations that we fund. But first, I want to just talk a little bit about how we, like many nonprofits and businesses, and pretty much everybody everywhere, had to, the popular word these days is pivot, and make a lot of changes in their organizations, and let's face it, in our own lives. When we found out just how serious COVID-19 was. So in March of this year, United Way of Davidson County established a fund, a special fund, and you all are aware of that fund because you actually just donated to it, and we really appreciate your financial support of this very important fund. So as the reality of the pandemic began to sink in, our board knew in early March that we needed to act quickly to respond and to meet the immediate needs brought about by the crisis. So we began raising funds to support our partner agencies. The goal is, and I just took this screenshot yesterday, so the goal is $150,000. We're almost at $100,000, as you can see. And this fund began with a $50,000 commitment from United Way of Davidson County, and then we got a few sizable grants that helped support it as well. So the remainder has really been through individual donors and other organizations. So far, we've funded 16 of our partner agencies, and we are just in the midst of doing a second round of funding that will basically mean that all of that $99,804 has been allocated, and the second round of funding will go out on Monday to 13 of our agencies. So we're just grateful that we've been able to, again, pivot and do this kind of thing, and be there to answer the calls in our community and ease our neighbors' concerns and meet the needs of those who really have had a challenging time in particular. And it's been challenging for all of us, but in particular, those who are most vulnerable in our community. So I'm going to switch a little bit and talk about North Carolina 211. This is a good time to kind of put this out there. I can't see everybody on my little minimized screen, but if anybody wants to speak up and tell me what they know about 211, I'd love to hear from you.
Aaron, I'll mention something. This is Jared Dunbar.
Okay.
Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that 211's a great place for people that are just they need whatever type of help they may need. I've referenced it to folks in the past that may be questioning, I don't know, it could be a lot of different things where they're seeking some type of assistance. And so I'll say, hey, call 211. They're very connected with a lot of different agencies and serving many different needs in various capacities. And that might be your first resource.
Right. You just hit the nail on the head, Jared. Thank you so much. It's what Jared described. It's a statewide information and referral service, and it's funded by United Way. So all of the United Way agencies in North Carolina, we basically buy into a membership type of relationship. with North Carolina 211, and it's staffed 24/7, 365 days a year. There are 2 call centers. One is in Raleigh, the other is in Asheville. But as Jared explained, someone would just call, needing something specific, and this service identifies where they're calling from by zip code, and they're able to connect them with resources. So we cannot stress enough about how critical this service is, and what a great opportunity it is. And just to give you a little bit of some recent data on this, since, of course, the call volume at North Carolina 211 has skyrocketed since about mid-March, when the pandemic really hit. The state began to really take hold, and I think as of May 27th, they had reached their 50,000th call just related to COVID-19. And in Davidson County, from the period of about mid-March through mid-June, there have been over 800 calls specifically related to COVID-19, and most of those are about sort of those 5 top needs that we think of when we think of the kinds of programs that we are supporting: housing, food, healthcare, employment and income, and then utility assistance. So please help us spread the word about 211. It's an invaluable resource in our community, and we just want to do everything we can to let people know about that. All right, so switching gears again, I wanted to talk a little bit about our 2020 campaign and the goal that we've set for the organization this year. Our board decided this year to take the approach of basing our goal on last year's the requests that we received from our partner agencies, plus any additional increases that they saw coming. And we surveyed them about a month or so ago to see. We knew it was kind of early because our funding year is really our calendar year. So they got back to us, and so we took that information and were able to set the goal at $1.35 million. This year, the year that we're currently in, we've raised about $1.2 million. So this is a significant increase for us this year, and but we know we need to forge ahead. I mean, we know the needs are out there. It's very evident. And our agencies are good at communicating with us on that. And while this is a lofty goal, we know that it's achievable, it's attainable, but we need everybody's help to get there and to meet that need. So we're excited. It's a great. We've got a great campaign chair, Jody Hunt, who's with Jerry Hunt Super Center. That she's the wife of Jerry Hunt, and Jody is on our board. And they are tremendous supporters of United Way of Davidson County. And Jody, so for those who are new to United Way, each year our board appoints a campaign chair. And this person is sort of our main spokesperson for the campaign and is really our cheerleader for the campaign, which we have a great one in Jody. She's just hit the ground running. She's already been reaching out to many of her contacts and people around the county. So we're just thrilled to work with her. So the fun part of the campaign, or one fun part of the campaign, there are many fun parts of the campaign, but the fun part for people who participate are, of course, the incentives. And we always want to talk about those because we work really hard to get really good incentives going for folks who want to participate. And this year's no different. So the campaign will officially kick off this year in late July. And to get folks geared up and excited about it, we have we have many different gifts and things, but the way it's set up, it's sort of around two areas. One is the $10,000 cash giveaway, which is exactly what it is. It's sponsored by Jerry Hunt Super Center. They have committed to an actual $10,000 cash giveaway, which will take place actually on December 15th. Will be the event at which sort of like the party at the end of the campaign And 10 finalists will be part of that, and there'll be a drawdown kind of event. But to be eligible for this incentive or this cash giveaway, folks have to give their caring share to the Community Investment Fund. And the caring share is equivalent to 1 hour's pay. So that's how that works. And then the other one is the Random Act of Kindness drawing. Those are basically for folks who make a minimum pledge of $100. They get entered into this drawing, and then we have we draw 5 Random Act of Kindness winners throughout the campaign, and they each get a $100 gift card. So that's just a little bit about our incentives. There are all kinds of like runners-up gifts and things like that as well. So we really appreciate all of our sponsors because they really help, make it exciting for people to participate. And we all love to enter things and win free stuff, right? All right. So how can you help? That's the question that is really important. The first way is if you or your company doesn't already have a campaign, we would love to talk to you about doing so. And this is basically an employee campaign where employees will give through payroll deduction, or we can work with you on setting up payment methods. But the critical thing here, a couple of critical things, is that no company is too small. We have companies that range from 2 to over 2,000 employees. So our focus here is really on participation and not on the amount of each gift. The second way is to give directly to United Way of Davidson County. So particularly if you're self-employed or you're retired or aren't you're currently employed or can give through an employer-sponsored campaign, you can give directly to us. You can also sponsor or participate in our special events, and I'll talk a little bit more in a moment about some events that we have planned for this fall and this campaign season. The fourth way is through volunteering with us. And we have 2 really fun and I think really fun and for Week of Caring. Well, let me just go through them. But they're very fun events. The first one is Week of Caring, and it's actually the whole month of September because we were really trying to accommodate everyone's schedules. But essentially, we put a call out to the community, nonprofits. They don't have to necessarily be our agency partners. It's any 501c3 nonprofit in Davidson County, which has a need. It can be landscaping, any kind of painting project, any kind of those types of really hands-on projects, or it could be they need to do a drive for school supplies or hygiene products or things like that. So basically, and then we match companies or groups, civic groups, church groups. It could be individuals who want to participate, and we match the participants, the volunteers, with the organizations who need the work done. And that takes place in September, and that's just a really great way to get involved in the community. So please help us spread the word on both sides. So if you know of nonprofits in the area that have a specific project or a need like that, let us know. And then on the flip side, if you are interested in volunteering and being a part of actually doing the work or being part of a drive event or something like that, please let us know that as well. The second thing is the fund distribution process, which is really fascinating and a great way for community folks to get involved. It's quite a commitment, I'll be honest, but it's a short-term commitment. It's really October. Most of the work is October through December. I put January on there just because some of it may run into the early part of the year, but essentially this is the group of people that come together and review our agencies that apply for funding every year, This group reviews their applications, they participate in their site visits, and also the agency presentations, and that's usually tied in with the site visit. So that's a great way to really understand how United Way works. As we are working so hard to meet our campaign goal, at the same time, we're also working on the agency side to review their applications and make these decisions about their funding. So it all kind of is happening at the same time and sort of culminates in the early part of which will be in the early part of 2021. So as promised, I told you I'd come back to our the special events that we have planned that coincide with our campaign season. And right now, these are planned, but given the state of things and restrictions that are in place, we may have to further modify them or cancel them. So the information is on our website. So you can always go there to find out. But I'd be so thrilled if you all would be interested in attending one of these events. You can participate or sponsor. We have a lot of different types of opportunities here, depending on what your interests are. One is United We Bowl. That is a bowling event. It takes place in Lexington at the YMCA. Currently, that is scheduled for August 14th. Again, more to come on whether we'll actually be able to have that event. September 11th is our golf tournament, and I think pretty much everybody knows what that means. And then we also have a team trivia for any trivia buffs out there who might want to come and participate. That's actually going to take place, if we're allowed to have it, at Bull City Cider Works. So it involves cider, so that could be fun. And then we have the Thanksgiving Day Early Bird 5K event. As it says, it's very early on the morning of Thanksgiving. I'll be there, so I'd love to see you all there, running, walking, whatever you want to do. So those are ways you can register or learn more about those events on our website or contact me directly. The other way that you can participate in these special events is through sponsorship opportunities. And this, again, is on our website. And this just gives you a little snapshot of what those sponsorship opportunities are. Again, if you want to contact me or our campaign director, Christy Heggie, and I'll be giving that contact information in just a few minutes. Yeah, feel free to let us know. So taking a little bit of a pause here. So really this gets at the heart of why our campaign matters, why this goal matters, because back to the beginning of my presentation, I talk a lot about our mission and what we're here to do. And it really boils down to being able to provide support and funding to our partner agencies who do just a tremendous amount of work in our community. And these are, they're across the board, but their focus is on our three primary areas: education, health, and financial stability. So this just gives you a list of our current partner agencies. We open up the application process every year to any 501c3 in Davidson County or which serves Davidson County residents to apply for funding. So this list changes from year to year. But this really is at the heart of, our partner agencies are at the heart of what we do. They work directly with the people we serve and who we care about in the community. I noticed that Billy Freeman, I think, is on the call, or was before we switched over. I know that he is with Thomasville YMCA. Are there any others on this call that are part of our partner agencies network? Just wanted to take a moment to recognize them if they were. All right. So anyway, these are our 23 current partner agencies. They do tremendous work, and we are just so appreciative of them. of course, it's very important that I acknowledge our incredible board of directors. We have quite a sizable board of directors. It's definitely the largest board of directors I've ever worked with. So I'm getting to know them individually. We haven't had any in-person meetings yet, but I've been reaching out and have been able to meet them with them in one-on-one. And I'm just so appreciative of their support and the leadership that they show. And I can't say enough about our staff here. As you can see, there are only 3 of us. We are small, but very strong and dedicated. And I was, just briefly, I'll say, I've been here about 2 months in this position. Well, really a month and a half. And when I came in, just the institutional knowledge that Christy Heggie offers. She's been with us for 18 years as campaign director. Kirsten Jones is our community impact administrator. So Christy, really, just to break it down for you, she is really over, the fundraising aspect of what we do. And then Kirsten is over the fund distribution side. So, and we all work together. And of course, because we are so small, we overlap in ways, but really our work couldn't exist without these 2 very talented, very dedicated women in the office here. So I'm so appreciative to them. So lastly, I just want to wrap up with just leaving you with a quote. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. And that's a quote by Margaret Mead, and she is an anthropologist. And my undergraduate major at UNCG back some time ago was anthropology. So, this quote has always resonated with me. And, as I think about the work that we do here, this quote is it's incredibly relevant because we know that leaders in our community have a tremendous impact on our ability to fulfill our mission. And we're just, the support that we have from the community is so crucial, and it plays a huge role in what we do. And that is it for my presentation. But I want to ask you what questions you have for me.
Aaron, this is Billy Freeman. I don't have a question, but on behalf of the Tom A. Finch YMCA and one of the partner agencies, we appreciate so much United Way. They are a driver in our community, particularly as it applies to those people who need that help. And we have been the recipient of one of those grant or that money due to the COVID, and it has helped us tremendously as we've served initially essential workers through our child care program. And we just appreciate so much what United Way does, and welcome to Davidson County, Aaron. We're tickled to have you here. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Billy. I was so happy to see you on the call today. That's awesome. Does anyone else have any questions about anything I've covered today, or anything that I haven't covered today that you are interested in? Hopefully you got if you are interested in participating or getting involved with United Way, hopefully you were able to capture our contact information. If not, I can give it to you now. Our phone number here is 336-249-2532. And my email is very easy. It's just my first and last name, Erin Clark @uwdavidson.org. So I'd love to hear from you. If I appreciate the opportunity to share this information with you today. And I'm excited to becoming a Rotarian if no one objects. I hope no one will object. So, anyway, thank you.
Thank you so much, Aaron, for the great presentation and for all the work that you do. And yes, indeed, we're tickled to have you join our club. I believe you're gonna enjoy it, and we're gonna love having you partner with us and be part of our Rotary team. So thank you again so much for being willing to share with us today the great work that you guys are doing with the United Way.
All right. Thank you so much.